Hi, I'm Eric Lanask at our Santa Clara Editors Day. With me on the program is Raza Ahi from NupSys. Raza, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you for inviting us.
It's very good to have you. You were explaining to me the company's only a few years young.
That's right.
What was the problem that the company saw, that sort of the founders saw that resulted in the company?
Absolutely. So what we saw was a unique opportunity in the sense that networks are getting so complex and so large, in particular for enterprise as well as service providers, that the existing approaches and tools to manage your network and optimize fall apart. As an example, one of the best examples is, in fact, one of your colleagues was mentioning regarding IoT.
Sure.
Every vertical, in particular the four verticals we focus on, the banking, the manufacturing, infrastructure, and government, have vertical IoTs of their own, right? So as such, the other dimension is that the current tools and solutions were not designed to deal with millions and tens of millions of the devices out there, as in the IoT.
Right.
So the opportunity we saw is to, from scratch, from ground up, put in place an infrastructure and foundation in terms of a technology, and then build a product and a solution that scales in terms of massive networks and scales in terms of ability to go from time of recognition to action very quickly based on visualization. So visualization is means to an end, but just like you experience in the consumer space, you can bear in mind we are just enterprise class, service provider class.
Right.
But in the consumer space, if you look at iPhone versus Motorola Laser 2, which was very successful, once you went to iPhone, the brain-friendly point and click, you will never go back to Laser 2.
Agreed.
We do what iPhone did to enterprise networks in terms of managing and optimizing your IP networks.
So certainly the need is there to be able to do that. What do you do? How do you do it differently? What makes you so scalable and so efficient for those huge scale networks?
Yes, two things. First, we actually leverage the most powerful processors, specifically the GPUs or high-end CPUs, based on image rendering, not data transfer. That's the fundamental of technology, that we have 3 patents issued in the US. They are issued, and they're being issued worldwide. The core essence of these patents have to do with managing your networks using GPUs or high-end CPUs, such that instead of transferring data, you're communicating via images. That fundamentally, on top of the ability of GPU to process a lot faster, elevates you to new heights. One element. The second dimension is that if you have a graphical illustration of your network, 3-dimensional, in front of your eyes, but you have the ability, instead of reading text, as in your traditional tools, or Visio diagrams, which by the time it's available, it's already obsolete, with the point and click, zoom in into areas that you want to take action, the time to action with the combination of these two is orders of magnitude faster. So the impact we make based on core technology of image rendering and transfer between the client and server architecture, which is unique patented architecture, and the visualization as in 3D dimensional graphics, time to action is much faster. Therefore, for any segment, that time is of essence, like in banking. Time is money, right?
Sure.
Brokerage firm, stock market, right, or banking transaction. When time makes a difference, or is mission critical, as in government networks, right? We add huge value.
When you talk about time to action, and specifically about the actions,
right,
are you talking about automated actions or actual human intervention, or both?
Both. So in other words, if you look at ability, first of all, underlying foundation, what differentiates us, we are extremely fast in terms of knowing what's going on in your network. So in the specific of the question you asked, if you know that one router in the network is going from green to yellow to orange to red, right? Just kind of level of criticality. Before it makes it to orange or red, you take action.
Hopefully, yes.
That saves your network.
Sure.
Right? So from that perspective, we look at essentially, time to action. I think the essence of your question. We actually enables that for any of these 4 segments and their IoT network. Like, for example, banks have security cameras in addition ATM network at every location, right?
Sure.
And there are tens and thousands, if not millions of them all over the world, right? So as such, you can visualize your whole network, including your branches and headquarters and offices, and basically, in addition to that, your ATM network. And one of the beauty of our technology, because it's so video-centric or graphical-centric, physical security, meaning security cameras, whether the IP camera or analog, doesn't matter, we've integrated them, all of them, right? You can actually look at it within our tool. So you can have complete view of the full network, right? Including all the cameras and everything else, as an example.
Do you collaborate with, partner with the network infrastructure vendors?
Absolutely. So we have announced our partnership with Cisco.
Okay.
We have already undertaken a couple of major engagements, one of which we have talked about. Specifically, we are also working with all the usual suspects in the top tier, top 5, all of them, basically, in terms of supporting them. We do support them. We are a multi-vendor tool. We support Cisco, Huawei, Juniper, Alcatel-Lucent, Fortinet, NetScreen, all the broad stuff on the voice over IP. So our architecture does everything that your traditional management tool does, but our real value, and there's nothing new there, right? But we do it really well. The real value is extremely fast and visualizing your whole network and its dynamics. And then in terms of partnership, that's where, for example, Cisco saw the value, because Cisco Prime is a great tool, but they see a need for next generation innovation.
Sure.
And that's where we come in.
What does it mean to that you're able to do this faster and more efficiently than some of the other competitors out there? What does that mean for the market?
For the market, it means that we are now stepping into the new world order in terms of networks, because the networks of today are not networks of even 5 years ago, let alone 20 years ago, right? So when you look at our well-respected counterparts on the basically large tool suppliers like IBM Tivoli or HP OpenView, these are great solutions and very comprehensive. But they're not built to deal with massive scale IoT. They're not built to be real time truly. And of course we have that locked down because of our patents. So the value of real time, as I was mentioning, let me give you one example in each of the categories. Banking, when you're trading stock, time is money. Right? If network goes down or a part of it goes down, right, you have a lot of unhappy customers in the banking, right? In the manufacturing, production line, right? It's a money-making machine. If a tool goes down, one of these robotics arms, which are all IoT-driven, right? It goes down. The production line. In the infrastructure, let's say, as an example, Denver International Airport, if you have, screen goes down or some part of a network maintenance goes down, again, mission critical. And government is obvious. Mission critical. Time is critical to survival of a lot of government programs. So as such, the real-time aspect directly translates into measurable benefit in terms of preventive and proactive actions such as automation and or manual. We can automate or we can have it manually, basically in terms of alerts and alarms and thresholds, right, that you cross, right, and or also a much better ability to optimize the resources within your network.
Very, very exciting. Certainly, I think that value proposition only will continue to grow as the IoT, as the number of devices explodes and as the networks become more and more complex. It certainly sounds like you guys are on the right track.
Yes, we are very excited about that.
Excellent. Reza, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much, Eric.